Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at the Barricade HD Overland Rack fitting 2015 and newer F-150s with the 5.5 or 6.5 foot bed. Whether you're heading to a remote campsite or to the job site, you can add some cool style and a lot of extra carrying capacity with this HD Overland bed rack from Barricade. This is a cool modular rack that offers a lot of flexibility for a great price. Whether you're looking for a platform for a tent, a rack, or even just your ladders and tools, or maybe somewhere to store and mount recovery gear, the Barricade HD Overland Rack we have here has got what you're after. This is a modular rack, so you have the flexibility to mount pretty much anything you want to it, within reason, of course. So you can mount jerry cans to the side for extra fuel, shovels or other recovery gear, pop on some ladders to take them to your job site, or really whatever else you can think of. The possibilities are pretty much endless here, and it retains full use of your bed space as well, since it does sit up a little bit high off the top of the bed. So while you're giving up some actual vertical height, you still get full access to your bed space. Not only that, but it looks pretty cool too. With a very industrial type of aesthetic, this adds some attitude to your bed space. This is one of the rare times when form and function truly go hand in hand. Now obviously I don't have everything up here on the table with me. This is just a small snippet of some of the pieces, but you get an idea of what this might look like on your truck. And of course, we've got some B-roll to show you as well. One of the coolest parts about this rack is the fact that yes, it is modular, so you can mount things in many different places, but you can also move them around so you can adjust mounting points however you need them. So if you've got a bunch of small stuff, you can have them pretty tight, or if you need to space this out a little bit more, you've got the option to do that as well. Constructed from heavy-duty steel, this does live up to the HD name, and like their bumpers, Barricade also finishes that steel here with a two-stage coating. First, you get an epoxy pre-coat or E-coat, and then it's topped off with this textured black powder coat finish. Now that coating is also UV resistant, so it's not going to fade, and it's about a 0.5 millimeter thicker than most other coatings on the market. So this is going to stand up to the elements and provide solid protection from bumps and bruises in daily life or out on the trail, while looking good and well integrated. Plus, that means that it will match the finish of Barricade's bumpers, so if you're shopping for those or you already have them on your truck, you're going to have a nice cohesive look all the way through. This also comes back with a 3-year limited warranty against any manufacturing or material issues too, so it's nice to have that added peace of mind. Pricing for this rack comes in at about $750, and it makes it one of the most affordable bed racks on the market. So if you really want that flexibility and the solid construction, this is absolutely going to be your ticket. Installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is obviously not all of the pieces of the rack here. They're simply not going to fit on the table with me. So most of that time and difficulty is going to go towards assembling this thing. Once you have everything together though, this is just going to bolt right onto your truck, and you don't need to modify anything on the truck itself. So with that, let's head on out to the shop. We'll show you how to put this one together and get it installed on your F-150.
For this install, you will need an impact, a ratchet, various 13mm sockets, T40 Torx bit, and a 13mm wrench, and also an extra set of hands to help you lift the rack. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing a bed rack on our F-150, so let's get started. Alrighty guys, so we've got all of our main pieces for our bed rack laid out here so we can begin assembling it. It's easiest to assemble it on the floor, and then we'll go ahead and put it on the truck once it's fully assembled. So the first thing we're going to do is grab our little foam pads here, and we're going to add them onto our mounting points. So we have these 4 as well as those 2 over there. So we'll go ahead and install these first. And you want to make sure to put them on the insides of the L here. That's where this is going to be mounting to your bed. So we've got our appropriate pad. It's going to mount up with all of our holes here. Go ahead and line this up. We'll firmly place that on. And we'll grab our other one here. Now this one is just blank. It is going to go up in here as just a top pad. Now once you have these 2 on, you'll go ahead and repeat that for the other 3 of these main mounting brackets, and we'll show you how to do the other 2 smaller brackets. Now we've got our support brackets here. Again, select our appropriate padding. We'll line that up with our bolt holes. Let's stick that on. We'll grab our other pad for right here. go ahead, get that one in place. Then you'll want to repeat this for the other support bracket. So now we can start adding our crossbars to our two sides of our main supports. So we'll grab our front right support. That's going to have the bracket facing back and to the left. We'll go ahead and grab our crossbar. That is the tapered in bar here. We're going to line it up with our front mount like so. Then we're going to grab 4 of our provided T40 Torx bolts, lock washers and flat washers. We're going to go ahead and get one in, and we'll hold that in position. We'll grab another flat washer and our provided 13mm flange nut. We'll go ahead, get that in position on the back side of that bolt. Go ahead and get that hand tight. Then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other 3 slots here and get this side mounted up. Get that one in. Get our flat washer and flange nut installed. So now we're going to leave these loosely installed and go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Then we'll also repeat that process for our rear main mounting brackets. So now we'll go ahead and do the same thing for our rear main support brackets. And we can go ahead and do the same thing for the other bracket. So now that we've got our main brackets loosely assembled, next we're going to go ahead and get them in position and install our front to back crossbars. So we'll go ahead and slide this back like so. We'll go ahead and grab our crossbar. First going to set it on one side of our bracket here. We'll see how far we need to go back. Then we can go ahead and loosely install these again with 4 of our T40 Torx bolts, lock washer and flat washer for each side of our bracket, as well as our provided 13mm flange nut. Once we have these loosely in place, we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side of our bracket. Then we'll repeat this process for other crossbars. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now once we've got all of our crossbars attached, we can come to the center here and we're gonna attach our middle crossbar. So we're gonna grab our attachment brackets here and we're gonna match up this recessed angle. We're gonna go right in the middle of our crossbar and we're gonna grab 2 more of our T40 Torx bolts with lock washers and flat washers. We're gonna bring those through our bracket. And we're going to add in another flat washer along with another 13mm flange nut. Go ahead and add our second one in. Then we can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Now that we have our brackets on, we'll go ahead and grab our crossbar, get that lined up on these. Then just like the other brackets, we're gonna go ahead and install 4 T40 Torx bolts, lock washers, flat washers, and on the other side, flat washers and 13mm flange nuts. And it'll be another 4 for each bracket. So now an easy little trick to get these nuts onto these specific bolts is because they're flange nuts, they will sit in a 13mm wrench, just like so. And you can kind of just slide it in like this, line that up, and go ahead and get it started just like this. And we'll do that for all the rest of our hardware on this crossbar. Now it's time to go ahead and install our center support bracket. We'll go ahead and get this lined up here. We're going to go to the inside of the crossbar. We'll go ahead and get 4 more of our T40 Torx bolts, lock washers, and flat washers in place. Get the first 2 on. And we'll install 2 of our 13mm flange nuts on the back side. And we'll do the same thing with these 2. So now we can install our lower bracket here. That's gonna go to the inside of our center support bracket, like so. We're gonna go ahead and grab 2 more of our Torx bolts. Put this on here. And 1 more of our flange nuts. Go ahead and do the same thing for this one. Then we can go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Alrighty guys, so now we're ready to install this onto the truck. So I went ahead and got an extra set of hands because this is kind of cumbersome. We'll go ahead and place this onto the bed rails and get it in position. Alrighty guys, now we've got this set down on our bed, we can start bolting it down to the actual bed of the truck. Now since ours doesn't have any included rails, we are going to grab the kits that hook onto the lip of the upper portion of the bed. So what we'll do is get the 2 front brackets secured, and then we're going to adjust this back to cover more of our bed because this is an adjustable setup. So we'll go ahead and grab 2 of our 13mm bolts, lock washers and flat washers, and 2 of our mounting blocks here for the bed, and then we'll go ahead and get those hooked in the front, adjust this out, and then we'll bolt the rest up. So now since we don't really have room to bolt anything at the front part, we have these 2 rear mounting points here, so we'll go ahead, get these in position. Now that we've got these 2 in place, we'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other side, then we'll come back and tighten these 2 down, and then get our back half situated. All right, so now that we have all of our bolts in for our front brackets, we'll go ahead and grab our 13mm socket on our impact and tighten these down. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now, as I mentioned, this bed rack is extendable, and since we have our 6.5-foot bed, we can bring it back to cover a little bit more of that bed space. So now we'll just go ahead and we'll bring this back as far as we can. And that's just going to cover a little bit more room for us. So now, just as with the front, we'll go ahead and grab our mounting blocks for our bed. Now since we have a little bit more room here, we'll do the front and the back mounting hole. Go ahead and get this in position. Then we'll go ahead and tighten these down again with our 13mm socket on our impact. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side, and we'll come back and get our middle brackets mounted. And once you have your front and rear brackets on, the mounting procedure for the middle brackets is exactly the same. Alrighty guys, so now that we have our mounting brackets on our bed tightened down, we can come around to the outside of our frame and tighten down all of our Torx bolts with our 13mm nuts. So we're going to need a T40 Torx bit on our impact, and depending on the location of the bolt, you may need a 13mm wrench or a 13mm socket on a ratchet just to help you reach farther up in there and grab onto those nuts. So we'll go ahead and begin tightening these down. Then you're going to repeat this same sequence around all of your hardware, around your frame, and go ahead and tighten everything down. So now once you have all this tightened down, you're good to go. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Barricade HD Overland Rack for your 15 to current F-150 with 5.5 and 6.5 foot bed. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.